Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome back. It is July 7th, 2021, here in the shop again after a little hurricane. Actually, a tropical storm came through here, rolled through here today. So I figured I'd get back in the shop, get some work done. As you guys remember, yesterday, or 2 days ago, yesterday we were getting ready for the tropical storm. And then today, we're here back at the shop. So as you guys remember, we were doing the painting, and so I'm going to do some scratch tests. I've got some good ideas. Actually, when I came in, some of the product, some of the pieces were actually stuck to the paper. So this will be a really good test as I take that paper off to see how well that paint adhered to the parts, and it'll be the final kind of the test. So we're going to do that. So we're going to move everything off the paint bench here, get it over into the production bench over here, get the skin taped up and ready to be painted as well. We'll get that painted tonight. And then I'm gonna go through my inventory process on how I keep all my parts. We talked about it briefly the other day, that really long video that I did, the first one, on how we tape our subsections back and keep those organized and everything like that. So we'll go through that, kind of show you how I do. You know, you can use it, you can't, or, you know, my ideas, they're my ideas. You know, everybody is going to have different approaches to how they keep their shop organized. But it is very, 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 very key. I can't stress this enough, that you stay organized in this build process. There are literally thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of parts everywhere. Well, not everywhere. They should be in their proper place. But if you don't keep track of them, they're going to be everywhere. And I'll show you what I do to keep those up. So with enough of that, the play ain't going to build itself. So I got to get back to work. I'm going to get everything, like I said, moved off the bench, get the bench cleaned off, get the paper thrown away, properly disposed of. Betsy is out of the shop, so I'll get some of this other stuff laying down here back into the truck. I'll get some of my recyclable off, get that in the truck, get that over to the recyclable center and everything. But I just want to say thank you for joining us. You know the routine: smash, like, dislike, whatever you want to do. It's totally up to you. But when we get back, we'll have everything moved over to the bench, and then we'll talk about the next step. All right. So here we go. We got the skin on the table. I didn't take the paper off because I'm just going to repeat repainting again. So I'll just leave that paper on. So what we're going to do is wipe this down with acetone, get it cleaned up, get it taped up. I'm just going to tape along the edges here so we can get a really good, nice lines along these rivet lines. So that way we have all the rivet holes and where the mating surfaces come together, where they're done. While that's drying, we'll go over here. I've got some really good scratch testing to do to see how well this primer held up. I think it's going to do really well from what I've seen, and so I'll run you through that. So we got the bench cleared off, and we got the parts on there now, and then we'll start doing our sub-assembly, putting pieces back together, getting them pleated up, and then getting into the next phase where we actually do some riveting. We actually start putting a plane together for a final assembly. So we have that, and like I said, while this is drying, we will go over there and work on some of the sub-assembly and seeing how well our paint held up. So with that, I'm gonna cut it here, and then I'll come back with this all taped up and ready to go. All right, so I got everything taped up. Wasn't that difficult to do. Yeah, got a little bit in there, but I'm doing the outer edges. One of the tools that you need to use besides the tape is this guy. Use this as a straight edge. This will help you get those straight edges. So you pull your tape through, and then you tear your tape off. And that's how you can get some of these straighter edges and everything. So this is all taped up. I'm gonna get it wiped down again, get it wiped back down again, and then we will be ready to paint this. And then while this is drying, like I said, we will go over there and start working on doing some of the sub-assembly. So when you see me again, or when you hear from me again, I have my mask on. This will all be painted, probably with one, maybe two coats. And we'll get over to the other bench and get that sub-assembly put together. All right, there you go. So we got this panel all primed up and ready to go. This is 2 coats. I got 1 more coat to go. I had to put, it's still, as you can see, still pretty ominous out there from the weather that we had today. A little windy. Still, the wind will gust up, so I got some spots here that I'm going to hit again and just kind of fill in, but had to put the solvent, the acetone on there to kind of hold it down. It wanted to fly away, so I will spray these down again, but that is done. Well, not done. I got 1 more coat to do. So after that, we'll bring it back in, let it set up, and then we'll go back to the bench and start getting a final mock-up. So I'm back into the shop here, got the door closed, got the fan going. Got that over there cooking. It is gonna sit there and cook overnight. And now we're going to pull our attention to the pieces that we already painted 2 days ago. They've been sitting here, they've definitely cured up. Now I wanted to do a scratch test. And there's my nail. Pretty good. Pretty good. Now I had a couple pieces that had some paper on them. See, and it you can see where it is coming across. But let's do this. Let me just kind of scratch this. See, I mean, that's pretty freaking strong. Where I'm scratching is not coming off. It's where the paper just didn't get any paint. So what I want to do is I don't want to leave that. So what I will do, put that there. I'm gonna grab my trusty Brillo pad, and I hear, no, don't do it. Don't do it. It's all right. It's mock-up. So what I'm going to do is take this and knock that paper off and then see how much of the paint we lose. That is impressive. I scrubbed the heck out of that piece, and that's all that we did chipping. I will have to say this SEM paint is just incredible paint for a rattle can paint. You guys have to trust me. Here, let me see if I can. I mean, that, you got to understand, there's no paint that's gonna, I am tearing that up. And look, now of course I'm gonna repaint this. I'm gonna reshoot that, but that is incredible. How well that holds up to that abuse. Granted, it is not epoxy paint, so I do expect it to peel back a little bit, but that is just incredible. The amount of force that I put into that with that Scotch Brite, I could take this cabinet here and do the same thing and scratch that hard enamel off. So I am impressed as all get out. Now I'm going to reshoot these just to touch them up. I believe those were the only 2 pieces that had paper on there. My fault, but that is just incredible. The strength of this paint is just incredible. And once again, it is the SEM primer, self-etching primer. You can get it for about 12 bucks a can. The color is 39693. I'll put a link to Amazon. I think they're selling it for $17 a can at Amazon, but you can find it for $12 if you go out and look. So I'm going to go ahead and get this one. We're going to reshoot this in a minute. They just make it thing, but that is just impressive. The fact that that paint can take that kind of abuse and not just, I mean, it literally, you guys saw me, I was bearing down on it pretty hard with my gorilla hands. So very impressed with this SEM primer, self-etching primer. So, all right, so let me get this piece done, and then we're gonna start mocking up the plane, getting it ready to get riveted. And I'll see you in a few. I wanted to show you this part here as well. This is another one, you know, the other one that I did, and scratch it down. I got a little bit more to go to take that piece of paper, but that got, like I said, encapsulated in the paint because it was laying and it wasn't dry. So that's my fault. But I'm, like I said, I am just literally impressed with the durability of this paint. I hit it pretty hard with that Scotch Brite pad, and I would expect it to be in a lot less shape than what it is. So impressive. I cannot say enough how impressed I am by this self-etching primer SEM product. And no, they are not endorsing me in any. Actually, I won't accept an endorsement from anybody. So you know that if I tell you it works for me, your mileage might be different, but if it works for me, you know it's not because of some endorsement. So all right, back to it, and I'll get these painted, touched back up, and we'll start mocking up for final assembly. Go, those pieces are over there. You're gonna let them sit. I got them touched up and letting the paint dry on them, and we'll just let those cook for a while as I get this mocked back up. So what we're gonna do is, let me grab our plans. I'll make a little bit of room here so I can get our plans out onto the bench. So you're going to find that when you're building these, you're going to assemble, disassemble, reassemble. So the first part is we're going to get this put together, this section here put together, and then we will, like I said, get this done, and then we will start our riveting. I should probably not do that. Keep it like that. So we're going to assemble this section, which is these parts, this part, those, and we'll get those assembled. And then what I will do after this gets assembled, we'll come back. I'll show you how I do my inventory, give you some tips and tricks which work for me, might not work for you, but they work for me, and so I'll share that with you. So when I come back, this here will be assembled and clecoed back together. So we got this clecoed up. Little tip, let me give you a tip. Here, every cleco you put in is a cleco you have to take out. And let me tell you, I learned this from experience. When I first built this up, when I was mocking it up, not for final, I put a cleco in every one of these holes. Now, there are times where you're going to go every other hole, right, when you're riveting because you want a really tight thing. But when you're mocking things up, every cleco you put in is every cleco you have to take out. So just remember that. Now this is, for those that don't know what a cleco is, this is a cleco. If you go to my blog, I have a video. Man, shoe fly. Got a fly in here. This is a cleco. And the way that this works, see if I can do this one-handed, is, I'm getting it. Actually, let's just do this. So this is the way it works. When you squeeze that, it puts the plunger down, and that piece extends, and then it's got a little gripper. And when it comes back, it holds the piece. Put it in, and it holds the piece together on the bottom. Like that. So that's what holds it together. Now, when you're riveting, obviously you want it real tight, and so you'll put more in, and actually a lot of people will do every other one, but they'll just rotate them down. So they'll put two in here and kind of just do a all the way down to hold it together. But pro tip, I don't want to say pro tip, I'm learning like the rest of us, but one thing I learned is the more clecos you put in, that's just as many clecos as you can put out or have to take back out. Now I do have a pneumatic. This thing is awesome. When I'm doing my final assembly, especially on the skin, you'll see me use this. And it's the same concept, but it runs off of air. And this is incredible, especially when you've got a lot of Clecos to take in and take out. I highly recommend to get one of these. They're hard to find. Everywhere I checked has been sold out. It seems like from Plain. I got this one from Plain Tools, and it was the last one. So I would recommend that. So, like I said, remember, everyone you put in is everyone you got to take out. And let me tell you, you're going to take Clecos in and out of this 4 or 5 times, just through the process of building it up. All right, so ain't gonna build itself. So let me get back to it. I've got to put this piece here onto this. I've got all of these that I got to put back onto this piece with the back plates, and then get that up. And then you will see, here you go. Here's your rivet schedule, and this is where I'll talk about how I inventory my system of inventory, and then you'll be able to see see if it works for you. So let me get the rest of this mocked up and for final assembly, and I'll see you in a few. Hey, welcome back. I got all those mocked up. Another tip is I actually bought some 4-inch foam that from upholstery from Amazon or wherever. 4-inch foam. It works great. What it does is it's enough to keep the product, or to keep whatever I'm working off of the bench, to keep the Clecos. You can see the Clecos are off the bench. If I wanted to, I can put them up like that, and it doesn't disengage the Cleco, because this gives enough, and so it keeps your part off the bench. So like I said, I have a big roll inside that bag there. Let me back up so you can see it. And what I do is I'll lay that for bigger parts, especially when I do the skin. I can lay the skin right onto the table, and I don't have to worry about the Clecos getting in the way or hitting the table or getting snagged or anything like that. This is just another tip. You can get this foam. It's 4-inch. Make sure you get the 4-inch high density foam, usually made for upholstery foam. You can get it from, box store, Amazon, once again, and but that will also help you get your work off of the bench. And so Clecos. So there you go. I got everything Clecoed up. So now the next step is that we're going to find the rivets is in this step here. The other thing is I have to, for those that, and I'll put an inset of the old design, but it looks like they reworked this. This used to be a riveted, used to take these horns, you had to cut them out of another, let me grab them. You had to cut them out from another piece and do them, but it looks like Vans has changed it. And these were riveted on, these pieces were riveted on to here. And now it looks like they are actually going to be bolted on. So I need to find these bolts, these nuts, washers, and everything, and I need to get those out. Plus I need to find these rivets, which this is the riveting schedule. So as you can see, each symbol, let me get over there, so each symbol is highlighted here, and it tells you what you need here. And so this is a good time for me to show you how I organize or keep my parts organized, because that is key to your success, and it will cut down on your frustration. So when I get back, I'll show you how I get the packing list and how I organize my parts, so that way you can do that, and we'll get those out. And that is, after that we'll call it a night, because I got to go watch Tampa Bay Lightning beat up on Montreal for Lord Stanley tonight. So we'll get those parts out, get them ready to go for us tomorrow, and then we'll call it a night. Right, so now we're at the bench. Oh, I wanted to show you something. I got to I need another bench, right? I need another bench. There we go. Let me grab, one of the things that Vans told me is when you get the electronic plans, even though you're doing an RV10, also get the plans for the RV14. There's a lot of tips and tricks that are on the RV14 that you in this that you can use for the RV10. So they highly recommend that you also get the RV14 plans as well, because that will help you with the RV10. Oh no. Trying to get this USB in here. I wanted to show you this. So this is the RV10. And I want to show you, I don't think they've updated the plan. So this is basically the same set. I highly recommend it, that you get it. And I wanted to show you, nope, they actually updated the plans to reflect this one as well, touchscreen. But on the older plans, they had a whole different a step here. If you go to Jason Ellis's, you can get there from my page, and you go to the empennage section, and you'll see him actually have to make these up. I was kind of hoping that they would, these would be, but they did update these plans with the new one. And so not only did we get final hole size with this, but we also got the plans. You know what? I'm going to go ahead, since I'm here, I am going to go ahead and bring these over. And there you go. And Control A, Control C. Been wanting to do this for a while. And then Control V. And then get that moved over. All right. So back here. So what I do is, if I need a part, when you get your kit, or when you get your parts, you will spend a good 2 days inventory everything. So I inventoried everything, parts are back ordered, checked them off, had some questions about that. The other nice thing about the electronic parts is if you don't know what a part is, and you want to know what it is on the plans, the reason why they tell you to get the electronic version is that you can go here, and VS means vertical stabilizer, R means rudder, horizontal stabilizer, elevator. That's what these codings mean. So if I was here, if I was here, and I wanted to know, it did not bring them over. I'll have to work on that here in a little bit. But if I wanted to know what VS 01010, or we'll say VS 1011 is, right? You can go here to your electronic plans, Control F, type in VS 1011, and it will take you right to that part, and then you can see it in your plans if you wanted to. And that's why they recommend to get the electronic version, because then you can search your plans for that part. That is really cool, and I didn't know that until Vans told me that. So that's a really great feature with having the electronic version of these. All right, so back to what we were going to do. So here is your packing. I wish I would give you the packing list in electronic format. That would be awesome. So what I am looking for is AN470. AN, look at that, D45. AN, so there you go, AN470, AD45. So that's the part. So that tells me it's in bag 1118. Bag 1118. All right. So let me kind of back up a little bit. Sometimes you'll have things in a bag. The other times you'll have things in a subsection, or I'll take you over here and show you These are all back, like sub kit. Like your parts will be in a sub kit. So a sub kit is, if you go over here, is these right here wrapped up. And you will have vertical stabilizers. You will have all sorts of different parts for different sections. So it's very important. So what I do is I do a sub kit, so I label it. It does come with a label originally, and I'll show you that. So that's the original label. But when I open it up, I will put the label back on. And then I bought this from Harbor Freight, and I will take out my part that I need and then wrap it back up. And then I put it back onto the shelf, and so everything is together. But that's how I do the sub kits. There's kit parts all over, as you guys can see. And then I've got another unit that has more parts. So let's get back to finding this part here. So we know it is a rivet or set of rivets. And it is AN. See, now I can't find it. AN 470 AD4-5. AN 47, and that's in bag 1118. Bag 1118. The read back is correct. So then I go over here. These are my sustainers for my Clico. So I know it's not in here. And I know this one's empty. So it's in probably one of these. So I will open. I need more hands. I just gotta push this out of the way. And I love these rigid sustainers. I really, really do. These things, I use them for everything. So then I will go in here, and I just took the bags when I got them, and I just put the bags in here. I haven't opened them up. So I'm looking for 1118, right? 1118. So there's 1024. I can tell you more than likely they are not in this setup. That's 112. That's close, but not yet. So then I shut this up. And this would be a good time to have the head piece running. And then I go to the next one. 1118. 1118. There it is. I found it. So what I will do now, here's 1118. All right. So I've identified that's there. So I'm going to keep that in that bag, right? And then what I am going to do, keep that just like that. See, oh, when I tell you about wearing safety glasses, look at that. Look how fine that is. That's some thermite in the making. That's why you should have safety glasses when you're working. So then what I do is I come over here. I gotta look for it. And here's my trusty labeler. Bam. So then what I do is I will delete. Right? Backspace. I go over here, and now I'm going to type in AN. Okay. AN 470 AD4-5. AN 470 AD4-5, AN470AD4-5, and I say print, and I print me a copy, and there it goes. And so now this is a large format. Boom, boom, boom. I go over to here. I then open this box up, and I could do this for all of them at once, but I figured what I would do is as I need them, I will go through this process. Yes, it is slower at the very beginning, but what it does is it makes sure that I have the right rivet. And so then I will put this here to label it, and I'll do that now, and then I'll come back and then have my final words with you. So I want to show you, you cannot be complacent when reading the instructions. 47AD4-5, 47AD4-7, and then I went 4-6, but guess what? It is a 426AD42, and then a 426AD4-7. So I went and found those, and I have them right here. 4.6-7, 5, and then 7 and 6. And let me show you something, another thing I love about these sustainers, these rigids. See how I have those containers out? Well, guess what? Those are not coming out. The way that these are designed, and they have a lip, and it holds the rivets. So even when you put the rivets in here, inside here, they're held down small part. These things are awesome. You can get them at a box store and take a look at them. So with that, I've got all my rivets ready out, and then like I said, tomorrow we will do riveting. Tonight I got to go watch the Tampa Bay Lightning beat up on Montreal for Game 5. This is a really good stopping point, as I said, and everything. I just want to say, you know, thank you for joining me today. I try to get out here at least 2 hours a day, every day. One of the things that we will be doing, or I will be doing, not we, it's just me, is setting up a Patreon page. I have blocked comments from the YouTube because people are just stupid. Let's just face it, there's just idiots out there. If you want to leave a comment though, I will moderate it, and it has to pertain to building the airplane. I don't care about your politics. I don't care about your religion. I don't care about whatever social, whatever you're doing. If it's not about building the airplane or questions about that, I'm not going to allow it on the page. But if you do have a question, feel free to ask it, post your comment. I'll get to it and I'll try to respond to it. But please, please keep it to the building of an airplane or experimental aircraft. And I'll try to do that. The other thing is, I'm going to set up a Patreon page. I got to remember my hand. I'm going to set up a Patreon page. Now, what the Patreon page will do is for $5 a month, and this is one level. Yeah, this is one level. $5 a month. When I come in, I will set up a Zoom meeting. We'll have Zoom running, and then you can ask me questions on Zoom. One of the other things is I'll probably start posting a day behind so that those members of Patreon can get a preview of a day before. So like today's video will go tomorrow, all that. So that's how it's going to work. You'll get a sneak peek. I don't have any swag. I don't have anything like that. But if you do help support through Patreon, you can. I will send you a Zoom. A Zoom. Actually, I'm debating with the Patreon. Patreon takes so much money from the content providers. If you send me a PayPal or something, we might just do it that way. Because they make all the money. We do all the work and they make all the money. Go figure. And everything. I'm all for capitalism, but I don't like being taken to the bank. So we'll work that out. I'll let you guys know a little bit. But like always, I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me tonight, keeping me company. keeping me honest. See, that's why doing these videos are great, because I slowed down to do the video and I realized the numbering sequence on the on the system. So with that, I just like to say, God bless you. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Hearts still go out to those families affected by the tower collapse down in Miami, and all the people in the world that are suffering, not just them. I mean, there's a ton of people suffering. You know, you're my thoughts and my prayers, and I just want to say thank you for joining me. Take care, and I will see you tomorrow.